Good morning, I'm Abheudaya, Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Chief Minister of Sudopur Province, Dirgabahadur Sodari, all set to face the vote of confidence today. Sodari not likely to clear the floor test. Nepali Congress prepares to form a new government. Breakthrough achieved in the bill related to transitional justice, which had remained contentious for the past 18 years. Consensus on disputed issues, including judicial remedy for the victims. The biggest prisoner exchange takes place between Russia and the West since the Cold War era. 24 prisoners detained in jails in 6 countries released. And China remain at the top of the Paris 2024 Olympics medal tally, securing 8 gold medals at the conclusion of Day 6 events. 26 gold medals up for grabs today. Chief Minister of Sudopur Province, Dirgabahadur Sodari, is all set to face the vote of confidence today. The Sudopur Province Assembly has been called for this afternoon for Sodari's floor test. With the support from CPN-UML, CPN Maoist Center, Nagrik Unmukti Party of Ranjita Shrestha Group, and an independent province assembly member, Sodari was appointed as the Chief Minister of Sudopur Province on 17th of April earlier this year. After CPN-UML withdrew its support to the province government, Sodari fell in minority. It does not seem likely that Sodari will clear the floor test today. In the 53-member provincial assembly, Sodari needs the support of at least 27 lawmakers to retain his position. Sodari currently has the support of his party, CPN Unified Socialists, 4 members, and 10 members of CPN Maoist Center, with a total of only 14 members. According to the share of power, the share of the position of Chief Minister of Sudopur Province lies with Nepali Congress. The ruling alliance parties has 29 members in its favor, with Nepali Congress's 18 and CPN-UML's 11, and can easily form a government. Nepali Congress Parliamentary Party leader and former Chief Minister Kamal Bahadur Shah, former Minister Prakash Bahadur Deuba, and Province Assembly member Bahadur Singh Thapa are making efforts to become the province Chief Minister representing Nepali Congress. The Transitional Justice Bill has been somewhat of a political weapon for parties for many years now. While each party during their time in the government put forth the agenda in an attempt to take credit of delivering justice to the victims of the armed insurgency period, the change in political equation has overshadowed the cause every time. However, the state is obliged to furnish an answer regarding justice delivery, as the conflict-era victims have been at the center of interest for the international community, on top of the pressure from the victims and their families and the directive by the Supreme Court. More in this report.
It's been 18 years that the transitional justice has hanged in uncertainty. 3 major parties on Thursday reached a consensus regarding the bill that is in consideration at the Law Committee of the House of Representatives. Earlier, they were at loggerheads regarding 4 points in the bill. Now, the task force formed to conclude the bill have agreed to categorize intentional murders during the conflict era as serious human rights violation, along with incidents of sexual violence and rape. Major parties also agreed to provide relief to the fighters and families of security officials who were victims during the era. Parties also previously differed on the degree of action against those guilty, and now they have agreed to at least demand for 25% of the punishment claimed by victim. The task force has also agreed that the victims can seek for judicial solutions in case the 2 sides cannot come to an agreement for reconciliation.
पीडितको सहमति आवश्यक हुन्छ मिलापत्र गर्नका लागि मेलमिलाप गर्नका लागि र क्षमादानका लागि पीडितको सहमति आवश्यक हुने कुरा गरेका छौं र यदि पीडितको सहमति भएन भने अब मानवाधिकारको गम्भीर उल्लङ्घनमा त मुद्दा चल्ने नै भयो मानवाधिकारको उल्लङ्घनमा पनि सरकारवादी फौजदारी मुद्दा भयो भने त्यो चाहिँ त मुद्दा चल्न सक्ने र अब दुनियावादी फौजदारी मुद्दा भएकोमा पीडितले जे गरोस् पीडितलाई त्यसको अधिकार दिने भन्ने कुरा भएको छ.
The task force will now prepare a report on the agreed points and submit it to the Prime Minister and top leaders.
यो 4वटा बुदाहरू थियो जस्तो गम्भीर मानव उल्लङ्घनका सन्दर्भमा नियतवश वा स्वेच्छाचारी ढंगले अन्य पनि हामीले त्यहाँ उल्लेख गरेका छौं यसरी सबै इस्युहरूलाई हामीले आज सहमति गरेर हामीले प्रतिवेदन बुझाइसकेपछि अन्तिम फेरि एकचोटि नेताहरूले यसमा हेर्नुहुनेछ।
Although disputed issues were addressed by the task force, it is still a long way to go before the laws are amended and even more for them to be implemented. The Law Committee of the Lower House will now have to approve the bill, which will go to the House of Representatives for discussion. The law will be amended once the Lower House approves the bill. This will be followed by the process for appointment of office bearers at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Commission for the Investigation of Enforced Disappeared Persons that has been without office bearers for the past 2 years. Based on the agreement between the parties, 3 additional months will be provided to any victim that wants to file complaint regarding sexual violence and rape. For now, the agreement between parties regarding the disputed issues can be considered a step forward in delivering justice to the victims of the armed conflict era.
Victims of fraud related to cooperatives who have been agitating for the past 15 months amidst government indifference despite issuing assurances encircled Tunikale in Kathmandu yesterday by forming a human chain while donning a black cross over masks. At a time when billions of rupees deposited at more than 500 cooperatives across the country is at risk, the victims have shared grievances, saying the government has remained insensitive despite reaching several agreements. After several agreements reached with the government in the past year and a half were not implemented, victims of fraud related to cooperatives have applied pressure on the government by encircling Kathmandu's Tunikale. The government itself has identified cooperatives as the basis of a 3-pillar economy. However, with the failure in effective implementation, hundreds of thousands of depositors have become victims of cooperatives. Depositors who have been demanding the return of their savings for the past year and a half have grown agitated and frustrated as the agreements reached, even with related ministries, have yet to be implemented. The victims of the fraud of cooperatives have spent all seasons in Maitikar, Tinkune and Santivatika to demand the return of their deposits. They have also alleged the government of being a mere spectator to their plight. Despite agreements with the victims, the government does not even have data on the number of victims of cooperatives in the country. According to the Struggle Committee, there are more than 5 million victims of 300 cooperatives in Nepal. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces, why has the problem of victims of cooperatives not been solved despite numerous commitments from the government? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जनता कराउँछ रोडमा काग कराउँदै गर्छ पिना सुक्दै गर्छ सरकारले के मतलब सबै नेताकै सहकारीहरू छन् त्यसकारणले उनीहरुकै आफै ठुला भए आफै सानालाई हेर्दै हेरेनन्
उहाँहरुकै कार्यकर्ताले हिनामिना गरेको हुनाले गर्दाखेरि यसको चाहिँ कार्यान्वयन नभए जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ
पब्लिकले शान्त पार्नको लागि चाहिँ यिनीहरुले चाहिँ अलिकति झुक्याएर चाहिँ राखिराखेको छ
कति सरकार चेन्ज भइसक्यो जे आउँछ त्यही भन्छ हामी मिलाउँछ कसैले पनि मिलाउँदैन हामी पीडित हो पीडितको अलिक उनीहरु सुन्नु पर्यो सरकारलाई
जो सरकार आइराछ मात्रै आफ्नो कुर्सीको लागि हामी गर्छौं हेर्छौं भन्छ
राजनीतिक दलसँग जोडिएका र अलिकति वरिष्ठ भन्ने व्यक्तिहरु नै त्यसमा संलग्न रहेको कारणले गर्दा पनि
कारबाही गर्दा त्यो दलका नेताहरु नै कारबाही हुने भएको हिसाबले यो सरकारले खासै यो कारबाही गर्न सक्दैन
त्यसमा पनि विभिन्न किसिमका माफियाहरुको पनि प्रभाव भएको चाहिँ मैले अनुभव गर्छु
यसलाई कार्यान्वयन तर्फ लैजाँदाखेरि चाहिँ सरकार निकट अथवा सरकारमा सहभागी व्यक्ति नै यसमा मुछिएको देखिने डरले पनि
नियमहरुको लुपहरुको फाइदा उठाउँदै चाहिँ सहकारीका सञ्चालकहरुले त्यसमा फाइदा उठाएको जस्तो लाग्छ
Thai Air Asia will be operating flights on the Bangkok-Bhairawa route 4 times a week. The Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, CAN, yesterday granted permission to Thai Air Asia, which has its headquarters in Bangkok, to operate flights on the Bangkok-Bhairawa route. CAN informed that permission was handed to Thai Air Asia to operate 4 flights a week to the Gautam Buddha International Airport in Bhairawa and 3 flights a week to the Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu from Bangkok. Nepal's Universal Tours and Travel has been the general sales agent of Thai Air Asia, which has 58 aircrafts in operation. The road section of the PRI Highway at PRI Ghat near Maleku, which was obstructed by landslide last night, has come into operation. After a dry landslide fell at PRI Ghat along the PRI Highway near Dhading's Maleku, flow of traffic was halted from last night. Traffic resumed after excavators from the under construction road project cleared the debris at around 9:30 last night. Water level at most rivers across the country has increased because of incessant rainfall. Local residents at the settlements near the riverbanks are at risk of inundation. However, local residents of Shrestha in West Navalparasi are busy in collection of wood swept by the swollen Nar River.
According to Jitendra Wen of Shrestha Rural Municipality, Ward number 5 of West Navalparasi, he has been reaching the bank of the Narayani River on a daily basis to collect wood swept by the swollen river.
खाना पकाएको बा खाएको गए सोच त बानाइ साहब हामीले बेचेको बा खाएको बा दरियामा बसे त्यहाँ रहेको बा र यो बसेको बा आइजा दरियाको बेचेको बा खाएको बा.
Like Jitendra, Chandra Bahadur Dalami Magar of Shrestha 5 Sakardini also reaches the bank of the Narayani River to collect wood.
जंगल नभएर हामीलाई दाउराको अभाव भएर नदीदेखि दाउरा निकालेर अनि भात पकाउनेलाई चाहिँ दाउरा निकालिन्छ.
Many local residents of Shrestha have been reaching the bank of the river to collect wood. At times, the bank witnesses a thick presence of the local residents. Despite being a risky work, it is not their hobby or interest, but a compulsion. There are no community forests in and around Shrestha. Despite the well-off families using cooking gas in their kitchen, most others are compelled to use firewood. Flood in the Narayani River is the source of collection of the wood required throughout the year for these families. Those reaching the river bank in groups collect a huge quantity of wood, which also helps them generate hundreds of thousands of rupees in revenue in a single season. As it is also a good source of revenue, these local residents risk their lives to collect the wood in the swollen river. The local administration and the rural municipality has urged the local residents not to risk their lives. However, they have ignored such calls.
हाम्रा गाउँपालिकाका नगरपालिकाले पनि त्यहाँ घुमेको माइकिङ गरेको तर जनताले मान्दैन. किन मान्दैन भन्दा सबै ग्यासबाट भात पकाउन सक्षम छैनन्.
Despite the loss of lives of many who reach the Narayani River bank to collect wood each year, it has not stopped the crowd to risk their lives.
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. Why has the health insurance program not been effective? Your options are A, complicated service delivery, B, government not releasing funds, and C, unaware service seekers. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And it's time now for the international update. The biggest prisoner exchange between Russia and the West since the Cold War era took place yesterday, with 24 people released in total. The White House said 16 prisoners had been freed and were on their way back to Europe and the U.S. Among them is Wall Street Journal reporter Ivan Gershkovich. In return, 8 Russian prisoners have been released from prisons in the U.S., Norway, Germany, Poland, and Slovenia, including individuals accused of intelligence activities. The children of 2 of the prisoners also returned to Russia. The White House said the U.S. had negotiated the trade with Russia, Germany, and 3 other countries. U.S. President Joe Biden hailed the deal as a feat of diplomacy and friendship and praised Washington's allies for their bold and brave decisions. The deal, negotiated in secrecy for more than a year, appears to have hinged on Moscow's demand for the return of Vadim Krasikov. He was serving a life sentence in Germany for carrying out an assassination in a Berlin park and is now back in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin and other senior officials met the returning Russians at Moscow's Vnukovo airport. President Biden owed a particular debt of gratitude to German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who made the politically difficult choice to release Krasikov. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.